through a severe trial in our home, a marriage, a family, the devil wants you to look like and smell like that trial the rest of your life. Sorrow, went through a divorce, shame, guilt, pain, heartbreak, untrust, can't trust nobody, sorry old man cheated on you, and you're going to sing somebody done somebody wrong song the rest of your life. But when you start coming to church like this, they start worshiping and he teaches the word and you start worshiping Jesus, you know what he'll do? He'll restore your trust. He'll restore your faith. He'll restore your soul. He restores my soul. There's times when I preached and I felt like I had preached my soul out and I wasn't even in touch with my emotions anymore. What do? I run back, preacher. I run back to Jesus and worship and give him leper worship. Nothing good may be happening that I've asked you to do, but I worship you for who you are. You know, God doesn't want you to look like... That's why the prodigal son in Luke chapter 10 fence said, I've had enough of this slop. I'm going home. And he had the filth all over him. And your Bible said, it's one of the most amazing stories, the father saw him from afar and ran out to meet him. Why did the father run? He was saying, I don't want this whole village to see what my boy's been through. So let me put the robe of righteousness and cover him. Let me put, look, the ring, I'm restoring his gift. Sometimes you can mess up and the enemy will say, God will never use you again. But the Father says, I'm restoring your gift. The gift God has written you on. If you will let him, he'll put a robe of righteousness on you and cover what you've been through. He'll put shoes on your feet, put his American Express platinum on your finger. And when he came back home, he looked like a businessman. Can you see him? He didn't look like he'd been in the pig pen. He didn't look like he had lost it. He looked like a businessman. Where you been on a trip? And that's your story. You don't look like what you've been through. In Mark chapter 5, because he was possessed with many devils, a legion, according to military terms, a legion was 6,000 soldiers. This man in Mark chapter 6 had 6,000 demons living inside of him. He would rip his clothes off in the tombs and take stones and cut himself. He was scarred all over his body from cutting himself. But Jesus, the most amazing part of that story to me is when Jesus came ashore in the area of the Gadarenes, the Bible said that this man who had 6,000 demons came and fell at Jesus' feet and worshiped him. Wait a minute. 6,000 demons couldn't stop this man from worshiping Jesus. What's your problem?
Amen.
Who hurt your feelings? You didn't get to sing the solo and now you don't want to sing on the praise team anymore. What is your problem? 6,000 demons. You didn't get the right parking spot or somebody didn't shake. What is your problem? 6,000 demons couldn't. Nothing is authorized to stop your praise. Cancer isn't, disease isn't, lack isn't. Nothing is authorized to stop your praise. If you can't do anything else, if you give him leper worship, you'll attract the presence of God to your room. I'm almost done with it. Take your seat. I'm going to call for him in a minute, but not yet. Place. And as he worshiped, Jesus said, be made whole. Demons leave. Addiction leave. Prescription drugs leave. Painkillers leave. Secrets on the internet leave. Get out. He's a worshiper. And nothing is authorized to stop his prayer. And then I love what it said. It said that when the village came, he was sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed. In other words, Jesus had covered the scars because he didn't want him to look like what he had been through. He was clothed and in his right mind. Because it's not that Number one, God uses people who have scars. But He doesn't want you to look like the abuse, the rape, the hurt, the bankruptcy, the disappointment, the dysfunctional family. He doesn't want you to look like that the rest of your life. I want to take you to Solomon's temple for my last point. We often give credit to Solomon for building the temple. I look at this place. But as great and grand as this place is, it's pitiful compared to Solomon's temple. And everybody says that it's Solomon's temple. The truth is, Solomon did not build the temple. Wisdom is not you doing everything. Wisdom is when you find somebody who can do it better than you, and you get them to do it, and you put your name on it. Because that's what Solomon is. He hired a guy named Hiram. He was a master of the faith. See, Christians need to learn that. We aren't supposed to be everything and do everything. Sometimes wisdom says, I'm going to find somebody who knows how to do it better than I do, and let them do it. At some point, it's not about you. Hot shot. We're really called to raise other people up. Let me finish. Watch this. God said to David, Solomon, your son, is young and tender. He can't build me the temple that I want. So I want you to go get all the material. I want you to fight a bunch of wars because you're a bloody man. Every day David came home from the office, he had blood splattered all over him. He killed somebody. He was a killer. God said himself, he's too bloody. He's a bloody man. He's a Renaissance man. He hung up the contrast with David. One minute David is a warrior, the next minute he comes a hunter. Nothing against heart players, but when I think of a heart, when I think of a warrior, I think of a camouflage suit, I see tattoos, I see David with a bandana tied around his head, he looks like Rambo, he's a killer. But then he's a heart player. And he wrote poetry. He's a killer. He killed. He cut the foreskins off of 300 men. This guy's brutal. You figure out what that means. But I'm just saying, this guy he's out there. But then he would sit. David was bad, y'all, because he would cut you into pieces. Read Psalms. Smash, break their teeth, oh Lord. He says that. That's a Bible verse. Oh Lord, break the teeth of my enemies. Smite them, oh God. Crush them as dirt in the earth. I praise thee. He's the kind of guy that would chop you up and then write a poem and make it a heart song and sing about it. Kind of like your pastor. Renaissance man. Is young and tender. Solomon didn't know how to build nothing. He was smart, but he didn't know how to build nothing. He hadn't been out and seen all the world. He didn't know how to build a temple. If it had been left up to Solomon, he would have put bean bags in there. He's young, he's tender, he's a kid wearing skinny jeans. He'd have put bean bags and velvet Elvis pictures up on the wall and unicorns. He didn't know how to build that.
It's mine.
But your Bible said that God told David, go gather all the gold over 1,000,000 talents. The stones that will be needed in the breastplate of the highway. Go gather everything, the curtains, the cedars, everything that will be used, the marble, everything in that temple. You lay it at the foot of Mount Moriah, and when you leave this world, you make sure everything's there. Then make sure he's got power to build it, and then put Solomon's temple on it. Watch. When that temple was finished, if you'd have walked through with Solomon and said, give me a guiding tour, Solomon would say, look at that gold. Look at that silver. Oh, it looks so holy. Look at that Ark of the Covenant. Oh, look at the gold on it. Look at that breastplate on the high priest, those 12 stones representing the 12 tribes of Israel. Oh, you would say, oh. But if you could have got a guided tour by David, he would have had a different story. He would have said, see that gold? You know where I got that from? I got it from the house of a prostitute when I attacked the Hittites. And I brought it back to the temple and sprinkled blood on it, dedicated it to God. We melted it down. Now it's part of the Ark of the Covenant, the mercy seat. And, oh, you see what you saw? I pried it out of the God of the Amorites. They worshiped the statue. They had it in his eyes. And I pried it out and brought it back and sprinkled blood on it and dedicated it to God. And now it doesn't look like what it's been through. We're so messed up, cutting off a piece of our life every day and watching our emotions die, our souls die. But the Son of David named Jesus, a bloody man, said, I could use him. I could use her. I could use that one right there. So I think I'll pry them out of the world. I think I'll bring them back to my temple and set them in the house. Put them on the, let him play the guitar. Let him play the keyboards. Let me set him on this thing. Let me put those ear things in his ears. Let me find this one. I found him way out there. This guy was way out there. But I pried him out of the God of some like what he's been through, because he's a worshiper and he's been made whole. Get up on your feet and give God praise if you believe. He can make you whole. He can make you whole. He can make you worship. It's not something we do. Worship is not a time filler until the little sermon comes. If you don't get this aspect, you will never be made whole. This is how you get back your losses. Turn back to Jesus after he saves you and stops and cuts off the power of sin. He did that on the cross. You don't have to do anything. You don't get good to get God. You get God to get good. All he requires of you is to turn back and do more than stand during praise and worship. Do more than go through the routine. But if you will begin out of your pain to give God out of your questions, out of your fiery trials, out of your disappointments, if you will give God let the worship. I don't praise you for what you've done. I praise you for who you are. You have saved me. You have redeemed me. You have chosen me. God chose you. That should humble you. That should turn you into a worshiper. And I don't care. Listen, I really feel this tonight. Joel said, and I will restore the years. The cankerworm, the locust have eaten up. And you shall never be ashamed. And I will pour out my spirit on your flesh. The part of you that was messed up, I'll pour my spirit on it. You won't look like what you've been through. Worship will make you complete, undivided. It will heal you and make you whole. Are you ready for that?
Verse 3. Who will ascend into the hill of the Lord? Or who may stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who has not lifted up his soul to an idol, nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive into the hill of the Lord. That's what I want to preach on. Ascending. Going up to the top of the mountain with Jesus. I don't know if you've realized it or not, but life is an uphill climb, but the view is worth it. Life is like an uphill. It is full of challenges, and it requires of us to keep climbing. And I love this verse because he said, who will ascend